Greetings, friends. It's Denise again with Denise's Dancing Paintbrush, and I have something different for you today. It isn't a collage. This is something that I did for myself. I wish I had taken a picture of this dress when it first arrived before I started painting on it, because it was quite hideous. I bought it online. I saw it looked a little different in the pictures online, naturally, or I wouldn't have purchased it. When it came, I thought it was going to be more blue, to be honest. But when it came, it looked very green, and it was not a nice green. And it had some really hideous brown streaks in it. I don't understand the brown streaks. The brown made no sense at all. And I really thought about sending it back, but the fabric was just butter soft and it fit me. So I thought, I'm an artist. I'll just paint over it. And so I took out some acrylic paints that I had already and started painting on it. Now, the problem with your acrylic paints that are not made for fabric is that they sometimes will stay and stain the fabric, and sometimes they will wash out, which is what happened here. So much of the blue washed out that I went ahead and I bought some specific fabric paint and painted over what I had already done. Now I wanted to make it like Van Gogh's Starry Night, which is probably what you can already tell. I had to paint over that brown spot with lots of blues and purples. I used, as you can see, probably several different colors of blue, 2 different colors of purple, and lots of white and yellow for the stars. The white in fabric paint is not absolutely opaque. You have to go over it 2 or 3 times to make it really opaque so that you can't see what's underneath through it. But that's okay. I didn't mind painting over spots more than once. And so I painted the white 2 or 3 times to give it a much more opaque look. And I didn't want it so opaque that you can't see some of the blue through it. And so as you can see, I've pretty much covered up that brown spot now. It's gone. You know, that brown spot right there, it landed in a very embarrassing place on my anatomy, and it made it almost pointed to it. It was too much focus on that one spot. And so this is working out. I like the blues and the purples much better than all that green. It was just nasty. You may or may not be able to tell there was also a very ugly brown streak near the bottom that just looked like brown had dripped down the fabric as it was being painted or printed or stained or whatever they do. It was horrible. Also, as I went along, I decided, as the painting of the Starry Night has, the little village at the bottom. And so I put in a few little houses and the church. Little side note, if you've ever noticed, in the painting, you'll have to look at it yourself, there is a church with a steeple and a couple of windows, but there is no door, and the windows are dark. No one is at home, but all of the little houses have lights on and doors. And I think Van Gogh might have been subliminally making a message there, because early on in his life he had wanted to become a minister and was even a missionary for a time. But because his preaching skills were less than ideal, the missionary board decided to dismiss him. And he was very disappointed in the church. Not in God necessarily, but in the church, yes. So I think, if you've noticed, he paints lots of churches. There are several paintings of churches by Van Gogh, and none of them seem to be very friendly. Like, he never paints the door, like you can't get in, and the windows always seem to be very dark, like there's no one home. But there you are. We paint bits of ourselves into our work, I think. We leave messages that we may or may not want to be leaving. So I used up the entire tube of blue, the entire tube of purple, and the entire tube of yellow and one tube of white. Luckily, my kit came with 2 tubes of white, so I still have some if I need to go back for any reason. But this did take a lot of paint to cover the brown that I wanted to cover and to make it look very smooth and Van Gogh-like. And here is what it looks like. If I had had a full-length mirror, I would have put it on and taken a selfie, but I don't have a full-length mirror, so here it is hanging. It doesn't drape that well, but here's a close-up of the bottom half of the dress with the little village and the trees. And I hope you liked it. Thanks so much for watching my attempt at fabric paint. Do come again and see what else I'm doing. I have a new collage that I'm working on. That'll probably be ready for next week's posting. Bye, everyone. Have a blessed week.